Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's a Thursday and we're here. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning and it's 1 a.m. in London and 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. The people in Japan are already up and at 'em. The rest of us, we have to get in gear. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. I'm going to be with you for a whole full hour. For the next hour, we've got a lot of things to talk about. We want to get you involved in the show as well. And of course, Talk Back Live means that I get the chance to talk to you. You get the chance to talk to me. Now, those of you who have been around with us, you already know what this show is all about. There may be some newcomers on the show that want to get involved with us, and we're going to tell you how we do this. So as the host of the show, what I do is get started right away, doing what I'm doing, setting things up. And while I'm doing that at any time at all, even right now, you can type in whatever you want to type in. Use your computer keyboard on your telephone too, and your iPad, and even your tablet, and type it in. I will see you right there on the big screen. And of course, I'm going to entertain all of your thoughts and ideas, because that's what it's all about. Free exchange of opinions and ideas, and we all have them. And I want you to express yours as well. Now, if there's anything in particular that you want to talk about that we just don't lay out here on the show, that's okay. All you have to do is take your chances and type it right in, and we can talk about it. We talk about anything under the sun, anything that you want to talk about, and we invite you to join in on the conversation. You must know that we come on 3 different platforms. We're on live Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Any 3 of those platforms will get you there. You could watch it. We want you to tell your family and friends about it, because it's very important that we get as many viewers as possible. We love that, and we love talking to you personally. And if you want to join in a conversation, it's okay, and I will talk to you personally too. And by the way, while you're in here, you can talk to everyone that comes in here as well. That's how it goes. It's not just me. It's about everyone in here, and you can talk to them wherever you are and wherever you are watching. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, we want you to take the chance right now, the opportunity to tag as many friends as you like. You can tag this show to them. Tag them. They'll see that tag is coming from you. They'll know it's coming from you. They'll take a chance and they'll click onto it. And it doesn't take an effort. It brings them directly to us. And of course, they can get in. And if they like what they see, they like what they hear, they'll come back again and again, just like you. And it doesn't take a lot of effort to do it. So just do it right now. If you would, tag all of your friends. Now, you may not be able to tag each and every one of them, because you probably have just too many to account for. But every week, if you come back every week, just add a few more on your list and bring them in. The more the merrier. That's what we always say. We would love them to be here. There's a lot of people that don't know about us, and we want to get to know them as they get to know us too. Right? Just as simple as that, easy. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to go onto our YouTube channel right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? All you have to do is just drag your mouse over to where it says subscribe. You see the arrow will point right there. All you have to do is click it and it's done. No further issues that you have to deal with. It's just done. And by the way, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. Everything is free. It's just a matter of just dragging your mouse over, clicking it onto it, and it's right in there. Now, the reason why we want you to do that, for 2 reasons. First of all, we would like to get to know you, and we would like to see how many people who follow us. We want a list of a lot of people who follow us each week to be involved. Tell your friends about it too. Let them follow us too. The second reason is that because you follow us, and because you clicked on and subscribed to us, that gives you the opportunity to know whenever from here on in that when we come on live, you'll get the instant notification, right? Let's say, for instance, next week you come back and you forgot about the show, but you happen to be online, but an instant notification will pop up letting you know that since you subscribe to the YouTube channel, information, it's active, and you just go right there and it brings you right to the page. Now, even if we so much as post, even if we're not on the air, right? And you see that instant notification, well, you know somebody is posting something, right? And you can see what that is. All you have to do is, again, click on, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel. That's all it takes. For all of you who are watching us on Instagram, don't worry, you don't have to do anything at all. Just keep telling your friends about it. Tell your family, friends, and relatives, and let them in on the action as they do. And they'll get a chance to see us too. And we would like that very much. All right. So do that right away. And we've got a lot of things to talk about. And we talk to you, of course, as I said, and the people who come in, we talk to them as well. And because we're just one big family. Happy family, too, I may add, too. All right. Now, we got a lot of things to talk about. And we got Brian Camp coming along not too far away in the show, directly from Charlotte, North Carolina, because he's our sports guy. And he's going to be coming on within this half hour, just a few minutes from now. And he's going to bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, which is the name of his show. And we'll have all kinds of sports talk. If you have any questions that's sports related and you would like to relate to him, of course, you could do, as I said before, just let your fingers do the walking. Just keep typing in whatever you want to talk about in terms of sports. The questions that you may have, get them ready now. So when he comes on, you can do it. And you can do it while he's on the air live, right? And if he doesn't have the answers, he will certainly get the answer somehow. Okay, so that's all coming up. We're going to be waiting around for that. Also later in the program, what we have this day in history, we have a list, a whole, I guess, laundry list of things that happened on this day in history. Now, what's today? November 21st. Something happened on November 26th, way back when. We have that answer for you. We'll recite all of those things that are coming up, and you'll get a chance to hear that too. And those of you who, by the way, when Brian comes in, those of you who, again, if you have questions, just get them ready. Now, those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him live on screen too as well. But that's not the case for the people on Instagram. We don't have that luxury. So, but you'll get a chance to hear him. But nothing else changes after that. You can still talk to him and you can still ask your questions. So that's coming up too. Towards the end of the program, and the weekend is coming up, just before you know it, it goes by so quick this week, right? Just before you know it, the weekend will be here, and there's a lot of things that you are looking forward to do, and we hope that you gear up for it because there's a lot of things happening. We got we want you to let we want to let you know that you have the chance to hear these movies that I have for you. Okay, now it's my pick of the week. Each week I have picks of the week. I go to Turner Classic Movies and I select movies that I think are worthwhile watching for your weekend. Now, a lot of you may want to sit back, relax, or maybe you want to do some outdoor activities or whatever it is. But for those of you who are more inclined to watch movies and catch up on some movies, because, sometimes the weekend is all you get and you want to get a chance to do that. Well, I'm going to add to your bucket list of those movies that you can watch too. I'm going to just add a few more of those. And of course, you're being as the people who are so you have ingenuity, and of course you know where to go to find all great movies. You're doing a lot of streaming, you're on cable, of course, you're resourceful and you can find these things. But I just want to add these movies onto your list, so that's coming up later on before the show is over. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facilities. So there, we got all of that out of the way. Now we could say we're officially underway. And here we are, as I said, it's November 21st. We're almost over with the season. And guess what? Next week, we're not going to be on the air next week, all right? Because next week we're taking off because of the holiday that's coming up. Did you forget about Thanksgiving holiday? Well, if you did, you're pleasantly surprised because that's coming up. That's next Thursday. And a lot of you have a short week to go next week. When you go back to work, you're going to only work maybe about 3 days. For some people who are owed vacation time, you may take that whole week, But the good news is that that holiday is coming up, and here on Talk Back Live, we're going to be taking that week off as well, because it's well deserved for us. Okay, we want to do that just like you. Okay, so that all that's coming up, and since we are in the month of November, there's a lot of things that are happening in November. We're still in the month, and as I said, it's almost over. But this month of November, one of the things that we're celebrating is the National Native American Heritage Month, all month long. And those of you who know people who have the blood of the Native Americans, you may not know them, but maybe you have friends, and I'm pretty sure if you're really close friends to them, they can tell you maybe there's some activities going on in the community. You could attend some of these events, but there are TV shows. Possibly you can go to the museum, you can go to the library and understand the Native Americans, and plus be aware that these are the first people that settled in this country. All right, I say that time and time, and every week for the rest of this month. And by the way, this may be the last time I can tell you about this, right? Because like I said, next week we're off. All right. So yeah, so this is the last time I can tell you this, but it goes on until the end of the month, Native American month. Okay. That's the heritage. And it's good to study, and it's good to follow up, and it's good to know, being that you're an American, it's good to know about the settlers here, so you can get a better understanding. You get to know all of these things. They're very important. Okay. Also, we salute all of our friends who are in the military. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had we were celebrating a military day, what you call not Memorial Day, but it was called, what am I talking about? 2 weeks ago, what was it? Was it Memorial Day? No, not Memorial Day. It was, oh God. I'm lost for it. You know what I'm talking about. You type it in and let me know. I'm kind of lost right now, but I want to keep up the pace of the show. Maybe that's why I'm being preoccupied by that. But I said that to make the point is that we're celebrating Military Family Month. So as we celebrate and acknowledge all of our fellow people, our men and women of the military who are doing an excellent job, by the way. That was Veterans Day I was talking about. Veterans Day. That's what I was thinking about, right? We had Veterans Day about a couple of weeks ago, but it lingers on. Now we're celebrating with the veterans, and each week, each day, and now it's Military Family Month. So that's what we're celebrating too. We keep that in mind. That's for the rest of the month as well. This is the last time we'll be talking about these things, but I want to keep it embedded in your mind. National Diabetes Month. Okay, we're on the health thing right here. And those of you who may be under the umbrella of that, or maybe know someone with diabetes, this is something that we acknowledge. It doesn't have to take a certain month, but this is a month set aside for that we get to acknowledge that. So we want you to understand that too. And you can read up on all of these things. And of course, if you are under that umbrella, the thing to do is make sure that you are tested, and you go to your doctor frequently so he can keep your levels down and just live a normal, happy life. So that's what we have right now, National Diabetes Month. And anybody want to chime in on that too as well? You want to talk about that? If you are an experienced person, we'd love to hear from you. We would really love to do that. So just type in whatever you want to talk about. National COPD Awareness Month as well. That's the respiratory thing, right? That's respiratory. All right. You don't want to make sure you're breathing well. And that's another thing that we're acknowledging. We're also acknowledging National PPSI AIDS Awareness Month. All right. We thought that went away. No, that didn't go away too. So that's why we keep that in consideration and keep that in our minds, because it is still around, and we just want to make an awareness of it all. It's also Patriotic Cancer Awareness Month as well. See, all of these things you can study up on and find out the history, and maybe people who are under the umbrella of all of these diseases. Maybe you can talk to them about it, or maybe a friend or family member, and you could ask them questions. Now, you don't have to be under the umbrella of all of that to learn about it. That's something that you can do. And if you have no one to talk to about it, you can always go on Google and check it out and research it. is something to know about. All right. National Alzheimer's Disease Month. That's what's going on too. So we have all of these things, and it's all happening this month. We talked about respiratory disease, right? We talked about that already. Now, remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you that I thought they had this thing, what they call the smoke out. Put your cigarettes away. Well, that's today. That's today. That started early today. The Great American Smoke Out. What that means is you put away your cigarettes. Put away your cigarettes for a while, right? Do that, and of course, see how far you can go with it. You want to try to kick the habit. That's the good way to start to kick the habit. So that's what's happening right now. So do that, okay? Okay, Allan Rackins, actor who memorably played Douglas Brackman in Law and Order, has died. Bracken gained worldwide fame as a boorish, balding Douglas Brackman Jr. in the acclaimed television legal drama L.A. Law, and frequently found his character the butt of his colleagues' jokes. Now, he was cast in the role by his brother-in-law, the producer Steve Baccio, Steve Baccio, who created the series, which from 1986 to 1994 with Terry Louise Fisher, and Ratkins was 82 years old. Arthur Frommer, whose Europe of $5 a day guidebooks revolutionized leisure traveling by convincing average Americans to budget or take budget vacations abroad. He has died. Now, Frommer died from complications of pneumonia. Frommer began writing about travel while serving in the U.S. Army in Europe in the 1950s. I had an opportunity to know and to work with Arthur Frommer many years ago when I was working at WOR. He was 95 years old. Okay, it's time to get started right now. And as I promised you, I told you that we're going to put Brian Camp on because he have the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. This is the time where we have a little fun. We talk about sports because there's a lot of sports coming up, Thanksgiving, football, and all of that stuff. And again, if you have any questions, sports related, bring it on. Bring it on. How you do that, Brian? Bring it on. And he's going to answer all of those questions for you. Brian, good evening and welcome aboard once again.
Good evening. Yes, it's a cold, chilly night out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it's 41 degrees. But that doesn't stop us from doing sports and watching sports. It may be cold somewhere else, but I know we're somewhere in Cleveland, Ohio, where it's cold and rainy as Thursday night football game is on. But we're gonna not go there just yet. We got work to do here. So, but good evening to you all out there who's out there worldwide, nationally, and locally. Like I said, it is 41 degrees. It's been a chilly, chilly night. The wind started blowing real hard, and now the cold sets in. But you know what? Last week it was like 75, 80 degrees. So not bad, last week. And being in the month of November, that's not bad. That's more than Indian summer, as they call it. But let's get right with the sports. That Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight, I don't know what to say about that fight. I will say this. Mike Tyson would have really put a beating on him if he was in his prime. He's fighting a 50-year-old man. And social media could be so cruel. They said Jake Paul now will fight George Foreman now. He will fight Jerry Jones, So now they're saying that Jake Paul is gonna be fighting all senior citizen men now. So, it's cruel for what they're saying, but the fight was a disaster. Jake Paul, if he wanted to hurt Mike Tyson, I believe he would have. If you've seen the fight very closely, yeah, I think he would have. He would have really hurt him. But it was an exhibition to me kind of fight, even though it count as a professional fight. It was a lousy fight. Mike Tyson wasn't moving around, you could see how tired he was. It really showed how tired he was, and he just didn't have it. We wasn't going to see the Iron Mike Tyson that was going to knock you out just by him looking at you, and then he'll hit you with one or two punches, and then you're out. You wasn't going to see that. 58 years old, but I'm so happy for him. He walked away with $20 million. Maybe now he'll walk away for good now. But it was a disastrous fight. Netflix got to do better. Netflix, if you're going to have NFL football coming up, you got to do better because the live streaming was horrible. If it froze everywhere around the world, everybody was complaining about it. Now, Prime Video do pretty well with these games, but now Netflix, if you're trying to just get involved with these games and everything, you got to do better. You made a fortune. Now you got to do better for your viewers and everything. So let's get it together. In football, speaking of which, two-time Super Bowl MVP champion Eli Manning and prolific tight end Antonio Gates and defensive pass rusher J-Rod Allan are among the 25 modern era candidates for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Now, the full selection committee will next reduce the list because you start off with a big list, and then after you're going to reduce the list to probably half or so, to 15 to be exact, who will be voted in as an annual meeting before the Super Bowl. Now, that would produce the new class. Now, in order to get into the Hall of Fame, voters have to vote. 80% must be required to enter into the Hall of Fame. So we got this first group, and like I said, 25. Then after that, it cuts down to 15. So by saying this, we're going to wait until the Super Bowl to find out exactly where they stand for the finalists. And then I believe next summer you will have the opening preseason football game, which is really the Pro Football Preseason Hall of Fame game. And you will see that's during the summertime. But right now, the class is 25, and it will reduce down to later. Now, baseball, speaking about Hall of Fame, outfielder Ichiro Suzuki and pitcher CC Sabathia are among 14 new candidates on the Hall of Fame ballot, joining 14 holdovers led by reliever Billy Wagner. Now, baseball's a little different when it comes to Hall of Famers. Like I said, they have a list, new candidates, and then the people that was on the ballot from last year will be pulled over. That will be narrowed down too as well. So you got a total of 28, but that's going to be narrowed down. So we're going to wait and see. We don't have a date of when they're going to narrow it down. But CC Sabathia, former New York Yankee, and Ichiro Suzuki from Japan, who came over into the major leagues, will be those who will be on that list. Now, Ted Williams, 1946 American League MVP award sells for $528,750 at an auction. Now that's a rare, that's a lot of money, but also a rare souvenir postcard picturing Hank Aaron, the Hammer, as a rookie with the Indianapolis Clowns of the old Negro League, sold for nearly $200,000 as a memorabilia at auction that also inducted Ted Williams into it. So you had two icons, Hank Aaron, Ted Williams. Some of their stuff was being sold, and and that's something. I mean, let's be real. 1946 MVP award, that's amazing. And then a rare picture of Hank Aaron in the old Negro League. So taking a rare picture as a rookie. So you get your hands on that. That's something you hold on to. You buy it and then you hold on to that. So let's see how that goes, and we'll see what's going to happen next time. Now, in the NBA, LeBron James says he's taking a break from social media. Now, being upset in recent times because, let me say something about social media. Social media could be cruel. It's one thing, they was talking about this here today on these sports shows. There comes a time where you got to have some respect for athletes when it comes to their families. There's a street code back in New York, in some parts of the United States and parts of the world. You don't bring up family members. You don't bring up your wife. You don't bring up your mother. You don't bring up your children. And social media could be so cruel when it comes to things like this. You don't talk about the man's family, but it's come to the point where he was, some of these here trollers, I call them, accused of LeBron James lying. So what? If he did lie, so what? You're going to take it to the next step? This is why I understand why, and I get criticized for this. I don't blame celebrity athletes for not wanting to sign autographs. I don't blame them for not wanting to take pictures. I've been in baseball games where as a fan, and and the things that come out of these fans' mouth. I understand you pay your money, you have right to say what you want to say. But come on. You're grown up. You're grown up. You say these childish things. Don't bring up an athlete's family. Don't bring up their children. That's off limits. Because back in the day, if you was caught doing that, you'd be dealt with. I'm not going to say what would happen, but you'll be dealt with. Sometimes it doesn't end well. I'll put it like that. But to talk about a man's family, talk and get personal. Okay, criticize him. You want to criticize him? Criticize him. Leave the man's family out of it. Leave the man's family out of your mouth. And this is one of the reasons why he's taking a break from social media. Simple as that. I don't blame these athletes. Again, I don't blame them. I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't take a picture. I wouldn't sign autographs. But yet fans will say, oh, we pay your salary. No, you don't. No. I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't talk to you either. He's there to do his job, and that's it. If he doesn't want to talk to you, he doesn't have to talk to you. But some of you fans, you get a couple of drinks, you don't know how to act, sit down. Excuse the French, sit your ass down. Yes, I said it. Sit your ass down. Enjoy the game. That's all. Just be a fan. I'm okay. Let me move right along. South Africa will host the Basketball African League playoffs and the finals in June of 2025. Now, the BAL, which is the Basketball African League, will tip off in Rabat from April 5th through the 13th. So that's a basketball league in South Africa. Hope you all enjoy that, and we'll have more to talk about that at a later time. This thing in sports, November 21st, 1934, New York Yankees buy Joe DiMaggio from the San Francisco Seals of the Pacific Coast League. 1949, Bill Veeck sells the Cleveland Indians for $22 million to fund his divorce. He had to sell his team for $22 million to fund his divorce. Okay. 1956, Don Newcombe, first player to ever win a National League MVP and a Cy Young Award, because he was a pitcher. So he wins both awards. It's the highest honor for a pitcher to win the Cy Young Award, but it's even more of an honor when you win the National League MVP. 1977, Baltimore Orioles first baseman Eddie Murray wins American League Rookie of the Year award. Birthdays. 1920, happy birthday to the late Stan Musial, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion, and 7-time batting champion. Was born in Dornoro, Pennsylvania. Happy birthday to Earl the Pearl Monroe, NBA guard, Hall of Fame, 1968 Rookie of the Year, was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was nicknamed as Black Moses because the way he used to play ball, and his schoolyard tricks and his moves, his spin. Happy birthday to Cedric Cornbread Maxwell, NBA small forward for the Boston Celtics, was born in Kingston, North Carolina. Happy birthday to Troy Aikman, NFL and NCAA quarterback, Hall of Famer, three-time Super Bowl champion for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, was born in Covina, California. Happy birthday. He was born in 1969. Ken Griffey Jr., Major League Baseball center fielder, Hall of Famer, and 10-time Gold Glove winner, was born in Donora, Pennsylvania. And happy birthday to Michael Strahan, NFL defensive end, Hall of Famer, and co-host of Good Morning America and Sports on Fox NFL, was born in Houston, Texas. Happy birthday, Michael Strahan. Now that's a man he works hard. He got three jobs. Works for Fox, works for Good Morning America, and he has his own restaurant. So happy birthday to Michael Strahan. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a cold day here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, Michael Strahan, boy, he has personality. He has a great personality too. Maybe that's why people like him. Maybe that's why he has those three jobs. I remember when he teamed up with Kelly Ripa on the Kelly and Michael, it was the Kelly and Michael show or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I never really watched those morning shows, but he did that. I watched that show one time in my life, and when Michael Strahan came on the show. But yeah, he's got
the way he travels. I don't know how he could leave on a Friday from Good Morning America to go cross country all the way to LA to do the Fox NFL. Well, he gets the day in between from Friday, and he gets here Sunday. But then this is the thing: he must take a red eye, leaving Sunday in California.
Yeah.
And take a red eye back to New York to get up early in the morning to do Good Morning America.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about a 3-hour difference in time between LA and New York, because he does the Good Morning America is based in New York, but he does the Fox NFL on Sunday. That's in California. So the man travels. Man travels.
And plus, he has to find the time to be with his two lovely daughters, his twin daughters. He has to find the time to do that too. So he's got a lot of work on his hand, doing all that work, plus being with his daughters as well. That's a lot of energy.
It's a lot of energy, yes. It's definitely a lot of energy.
No, I'm glad you brought up that social media thing, and you're right, man. I don't blame the sports figures for even at all interacting with anyone. And you're right. They don't have to do anything. The only thing that these people owe you is a good performance. That's all they owe you. They owe you anything.
And that's why I tell you, there are times when I don't be on Facebook during the week. The only time I come on Facebook is to do the shows on Thursday night and Friday morning. And then after that, I cut off Facebook and I won't go back on until next week. Because it's the BS that goes on social media that's really, really outrageous. I mean, it gets so out of hand and it's so ridiculous. You just don't. Again, you don't bring up your family. Just leave the family out of it.
Yeah.
I understand to a certain degree about LeBron James. I'm not a basketball fan of his, but I respect him so much for being a family man.
The thing that bothers me about these people who get out there and call people names and do all that are people in their 60s and 70s. That's the thing that bothers me.
Yeah.
They should be old enough. Put away those games. Those games are over. You're old. And it's not just the sports. Even when it comes to politics, which I'm not going to get into because that's I could tell you about a lot of stupid things I've read about certain politicians and things like that, which is ridiculous. Just leave it alone. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it, because basically social media was intended to get out there and air your have your say, without arguing with anyone or without cold calling people's names. I remember there was a long time ago, I put out some kind of statement. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that people enjoyed to talk about. And just one person didn't agree with the other person and called them a name. And so I had to intervene and say, look, I appreciate you guys, posting and reposting, but on this platform, you don't disrespect anyone, and I threaten them and I tell them, or I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it, and I'm going to take you off my friendship list. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But like you, Brian, I don't go on social media as much as I used to. I don't say I shut it down, do the show and then shut it down. I don't do that because
I had to shut it down for a while. I had to shut it down for a while because it was getting too crazy, overwhelming.
yeah,
The same old stories, the same old thing. You
yeah,
know, even during this election, I mean, like I said, lost friends.
yeah.
But that show you that they weren't real friends. So what? I didn't vote for your guy.
Mm.
Okay. And now that your candidate won, now you want to call me up and you want to be my friends. You know what? You wasn't really my friend in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's party time. Yeah. Well, they signed up for something, and they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. That's another show. That's another show, another story. That Tyson Paul fight, I didn't get a chance to see it in real time like you did. So I was fortunate enough to see the fight later on, but it did with no interruptions because I was watching the refeed of it. So there was none of that buffering or anything that goes on. But that fight, you're right. It was it
It was
was
sad, pitiful.
yeah.
It was horrible.
And I felt sorry for Mike because Mike wasn't a strong, tough guy. I got it all in control right now that I saw. I didn't see that in him. Although he tried his best, he tried it, but he took a lot of jabs from.
Well, watching him after the bell ring at every round, seeing him drag himself to his corner,
Yeah,
it was like, I don't know how he could make it through these rounds.
yeah.
Can he make it? And it just wasn't, it just didn't seem right. It was just terrible, really terrible.
Well, each opponent thought they were going to knock each other out. That didn't happen. They went the
It
distance,
happened.
and I think the usually a fight lasts each round 3 minutes, but Mike Tyson requested that they do 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
The fight went quicker that way. But it was, and then he said he says he may come back. He said he may come back, and he said, "Who do you think your next opponent will be?" Then he pointed to Jake's brother Logan, and
Yeah.
Logan said, "I'll kill you, Mike." I don't know if he was actually serious or was he kidding around.
All of that is publicity, is to bring people to see the fights,
Yeah,
and this is a new day and age where it was close. Remember the closed circuit TV, or where they promoted,
yeah,
those days are gone. Now they're trying to actually go live stream now,
yeah.
between Prime and now Netflix, trying to get into it, so it's a new day and age. It's a new era.
So since I didn't see it on Netflix in real time, I guess part of the disaster was it kept buffering and interrupting.
Oh, horrible.
I heard all about that. That was all over. That was all around the world.
Yeah.
That was all over, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people were really pissed off about that. There was an article in the news today that I found out that one person is suing Netflix for that, which they.
I don't know how much they could get or if they could even win.
But look at it this way: you guys paid for the service. They paid for the. You're paying for the service, and you're paying for quality. You know, and the thing that I'm concerned about now, wrestling starts on Netflix on January, I think January 6th,
Mhm.
which I think is on a Monday.
I
January,
think I think Netflix will do well. They just had to get the little kinks out. This is their first
yeah,
try. I know people wants to sue Netflix. They down on Netflix. Well, you know what? Give it time, because you know why? This is, if there's money, if there's heavily money involved, they're
Yeah,
going to fix the problem.
yeah. And besides, Netflix never did any live broadcast.
Now,
I think that was their first time.
oh, it's their first time doing a sports live. They've done sports. I mean, they've done live stuff, but not in the sports world. They've done it for concerts and other things as well.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. I
know,
wonder how those
but
two,
listen, but you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas coming up, so
yeah,
um, they have time to fix this. You know, to get the little kinks, the Nixon stuff out the way. You know, the little troubleshooting things. You know, they'll they'll fix it because Netflix is huge.
yeah, yeah. And speaking of Thanksgiving, which is a good segue, we're not going to be here next week. Next week is because next week is Thanksgiving. So the next time we meet here on Talkback Live is going to be on the 5th of December. So we're going to be off. But how about tomorrow? You going to be around tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I might have to call you to see if I could come on immediately at 10 o'clock. I got to be pulled away.
Uh,
Um, I'll let you know at the last second. If I can't, then I will send it in. But I will call you in the morning to let you know.
okay, that'll be good. Okay, I appreciate the sports here for tonight, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have
Yes.
yourself an amazing Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
Yes. So, well, everybody enjoy your holiday. And if you're traveling, be safe. Be
Don't
safe
and drive.
and drive. That's right. Don't drink and drive.
Have a good one, Brian. Talk to you later.
Take care.
Okay, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's here each week. And as I said, we won't get a chance to see him for another 2 weeks, unless, of course, he comes back tomorrow on the coffee hour, which I hope he does. That'll be a great thing. But if not, we're going to take Thanksgiving off on Thanksgiving Day and the following day afterwards. So we're going to have that whole week off. But we're enjoying now. And just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And we're going to be here for the balance of the hour. And those of you who are just joining us, make sure you get your friends in on this. You know, you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And if you have any questions about sports, you didn't get a chance to say them while he was on live, please feel free. You can still do that. We'll relay all the questions to him. All right, so that's how it goes. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. We'll be looking forward to seeing you when we come back. It sounds like I'm signing off and I'm not, so anyway, thank you so much again for being with us right here on Talkback Live. And I think this is set time right now to get started because we wasted a lot. We didn't waste a lot of time, but we're a little behind time right now. So it's that time right now for all of us to go back in time on this day in history. And on this day in history in 1931, the horror film Frankenstein is released, starring Boris Karloff as the monster. On this day in history in 1946, The Best Years of Our Lives, starring Myrna Loy and Frederick March, is released and it made the Academy Awards Best Picture of 1947. On this day in history in 1955, KTVO-TV, Channel 3, out in Ottawa, Kirksville, Iowa. That's ABC station that began broadcasting. Back on this day in history in 1963, U.S. President Robert F. Kennedy flies to Texas and was assassinated the following day. On this day in history in 1968, the Supremes and the Temptations released I'm Gonna Make You Love Me. And that was a cover record they did for Madeline Bell back then. Back in 1976, Rocky, starring Sylvester Stallone, premieres in New York, made the Best Picture of 1977. Back in 1981, Olivia Newton-John's Physical single goes #1 and stays there for 10 weeks. Back in 1995, Columbia Records releases Bruce Springsteen's 11th studio album, The Ghost of Tom Joad. The Ghost of Tom Joad, and it wins the Grammy Award for the Best Contemporary Folk Album. And in the year 2006, Kingdom Come, that's the 9th studio album by Jay-Z, was released. In 2013, Happy, that's the single released by Pharrell Williams. That made the Billboard Song of the Year in 2014 and the Grammy Award for the Best Pop Solo Performance in 2015. In 1905, jazz musician Coleman Hawkins was born on this day in St. Joseph, Missouri. He died in 1969. On this day in history, in 1912, actress Eleanor Powell was born on this day in Springfield, Massachusetts. She died in 1982. In 1921, actress Vivian Blaine was born on this day in Newark, New Jersey. She died in 1995. In 1937, actress Marlo Thomas from That Girl and the daughter of Danny Thomas was born in Detroit, Michigan, and she's 87 years old today. In 1941, producer, arranger, and songwriter David Porter, who collaborates with Isaac Hayes with Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Coming, was born in Memphis, Tennessee. He's 83 today. Actress Goldie Hawn was born on this day in 1945 in Washington, D.C. She's 79 today. 1948, Lonnie Jordan of the pop group War. Remember that song, Why Can't We Be Friends? Well, he was born on this day. Today is his birthday, and he was born in San Diego, California. He's 76 today. In 1982, folk singer Joni Mitchell weds bassist Larry Klein in Malibu, California. They got divorced in 1994. In 1983, actor Ed Harris weds actress Amy Madigan. In 1987, actress Demi Moore weds actor Bruce Willis in Las Vegas. They got divorced in the year 2000. In 2009, figure skater Dorothy Hamill weds third husband John Alexander McCall. In 2013, actress Jennifer Love Hewitt weds actor Brian Hollisay. In 2015, actress Sofia Vergara, she's the one that plays on that sitcom, of course, with Ed O'Neill. And she weds actor Joe Manganiello in Palms Beach, Florida. And heavyweight boxing champion Max Baer died at the age of 50 years old back in 1959 from a heart attack. He was born February 11th, 1909 in Omaha, Nebraska. Actor Bill Bixby died on this day in 1993 at the age of 59 from prostate cancer. He was born January 22nd, 1934, and he was born in San Francisco, California. And singer-songwriter Teddy Rondonzo, who wrote the song for Little Anthony and the Imperials, I'm on the Outside Looking In, died at the age of 68 years old. And 2017, David Cassidy, who played Keith Partridge of the Partridge Family, dies at the age of 67 years old. That's what's happening on this day in history. And of course, those of you who know anything that's happening on this day in history that I didn't mention and that you just happen to know about, feel free, type it in. I'll announce it, recite it for you, and so everyone can hear, so the whole world can hear. Now, those of you who may want to try to get in touch with me, feel free. I would love to hear from you. I mean, it's always nice to hear from you. Now, a lot of people like to sit back and watch the show and say, you know what, I'm just going to watch it. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be part of the conversation. That's okay too. But it's important to me to get to know you and talk to you and discuss the topics of the day or whatever you want to talk about. But, some people don't, and it's okay. But I'll tell you what, if you'd like to get in touch with me personally, you can do that. And I'll give you the information because I have two sources how you can do that. I have an email address and a telephone number. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn over to the email address. Email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Allan is Allan. Prod is PROD. That's short for Productions. Make sure you spell the Allan right. ALLAN. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. If you want to get in touch with us at anything about anything, if you want us to talk about your birthday, you want us to mention it, that's coming up, or mitzvah, or any kind of event that you want to push out there, and anything at all right? Just be proactive and just contact us and let us know. We'll be glad to do that for you, right? Or maybe you want to critique the show, which we do encourage you guys, because we would like to know where we stand with you as far as this show is concerned. Or maybe you have ideas that you want us to implement in the show. We would love to do that. We would love to hear all of those things from you. All of the criticisms, everything, just be diplomatic about it. That's all I ask. Just be diplomatic, and don't curse me out. Don't do any of that. You know, I'm not having it. So don't try it. Okay. Just be nice. All right. All right. So keep all of that information with you. Keep it in your cell phone, your computer, so you can get easy access to it at any time you like. All right. So I'll give you that email address once again. The email address is frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I'm pretty sure those of you who watch MSNBC, all right, which is a good station. You have your choices of news stations that you could watch. You have Fox News, MSNBC, News Nation, and you have CNN, you know, anything. All right. I want to focus on MSNBC. Now, those of you who are watchers of MSNBC, you already know all of the people there, the staff, and I think they're doing a good job over there. I think they're doing a marvelous job over there where they cover the news. But a lot of people are up in arms, and they heard the story before about MSNBC's Morning Joe, you know, which I watch regularly. You know, I get up in the morning, get ready, set for the gym, and while I'm doing all of that, getting set, I have on MSNBC and I watch it. And then I go to the gym and I get back in time because it's a 4-hour show. You've heard, whether it was last weekend or the week before, the Morning Joe staff, the power couple, I like to call them, Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. They are a married couple, if you didn't know that, right? You see them each day. They come on the air each day. You probably heard the story already, and people are talking about it. It's all over social media. People are just like upset with all of the things that they talked about Donald Trump, and, you know, how called, you know, Nazi, and, you know, all of these names that they lay out on him, and all of the criticisms and all of those things they say about him. And just, if it wasn't last weekend, the week before, the weekend before, went out to meet with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, right? And they went to have dinner with him, dinner, lunch, or whatever. They dined with him, right? And people were totally upset about it. And I was looking for some kind of explanation of why they did that. Why did they go there after all of that, after all of the criticisms and the big talk about against him and how bad he's doing, and what a bad job he's doing as he starts his new job as the president of the United States once again, another 4 years, all of that. And they go visit him. Now, I was trying to find all kinds of information. I was trying to find out what they said after the criticisms came down. Everybody was up in arms about it. What did they say? How did they get out of that? And Mika Brzezinski, was the one that said, okay, we went there and he was upbeat, he, cheerful, upbeat, and he was interested. And according to her, they went out to see if he, could get together and let's see if we can calm all of this bullshit about what's going on and the elections and things like that. But people weren't buying it. People were saying things like, and I saw this on social media, people were saying things like, oh, something, they're probably, looking at their own ass because, Trump had threatened the media. We're going to take this guy off the air. We're going to move this. We're going to demolish MSNBC, CNN, ABC, and all of these people, right? And so I'm not saying that that's why they went, but I would like to know, other than she said that, she said something like, I know people are about to ask, why did we go? And then she followed up and said, why not? Well, Mika, I love you. I love you and Joe. I love your show. But you can't ask a question with a question. If someone were to ask you, why did you go there? Give us an answer. Tell us why. Be honest about it. All right. Maybe we'll understand. But no answer was given. And even now, I haven't heard anything. And I'm hoping that when they come on the air in the morning, maybe they'll have more to say about it. They haven't said anything about it. Maybe they'll say more about it. I mean, I would hope so, because I'm not saying I'm not going to watch the show anymore. Right now, I'm going to take a little break from it because honestly, Joe, Mika, I was totally hurt. I was totally devastated when I found out about that. And I didn't get an answer from you. The public didn't get an answer from you. And I was hurt. And I said, these are the people I listen to each and every day to get my news. And so I'm just going to take a little break. I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch MSNBC at all, but I'm going to take a little break from Morning Joe and until I find out what's really happening. Just so you know, I was hurt. I was devastated. I felt like I was kicked in the teeth. And a lot of people who religiously watch you as well, I would imagine they felt the same way. So I just wanted to bring that out there. And those of you who may have anything to say about that, you maybe want to write into them to find out, because I need answers. It's gotten to the point where I don't trust media anymore. I just don't trust them anymore. But that's another story. Maybe we can talk more about that on tomorrow morning show. But right now, I want to quickly get the movies going for you right now. I have 4. These things come to you from Turner Classic Movies. And the first one I have is Meet Me in St. Louis, 1944, with Judy Garland and Margaret O'Brien. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Then you have The Maltese Falcon, 1941, with Humphrey Bogart, Mary Astor, and Peter Lorre. That's on Turner Classic Movie. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then another Humphrey Bogart movie called The Big Sleep from 1946, along with Lauren Bacall and Margaret Vickers. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Now, if you don't have time to watch them in real time, DVR them, you could watch them. Go on Turner Classic Movies. There may be more that you like. There's a lot of other things that you may see, such as, pay-per-view movies. You got those pay-per-view movies. They're all there. You could watch those. You got the free movies. You got a lot of children's programs and a lot of other great things, documentaries. It's all right there. All right, so do that. Now I'm going to get back and show these movies once again, tell you about it. It's Meet Me in St. Louis with Judy Garland and Margaret O'Brien. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. The Maltese Falcon, Humphrey Bogart, Mary Astor, and Peter Lorre. That's Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And The Big Sleep, again, Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall, and Martha Vickers, Turner Classic Movies, and that's Sunday at 10 p.m. I hope you get a chance to watch these movies. They're fantastic. I will not lie to you. I love them all. Okay, it's time for me to get out of here, but I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. I'm going to be here. Hopefully, we're looking forward to seeing Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. I will not be back here. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks for more of Talk Back Live. That's going to be the 5th of December. We're taking a break for Thanksgiving. So in the meantime, you have yourself a wonderful evening, a wonderful morning, good afternoon, and a pleasant good night. And we'll see you soon. Take care and have a good Thanksgiving.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.